Hi everyone, how's it going? I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to talk about how believing in yourself always works out. And I have a whole chart for you guys here to prove to you guys that that is the best option you've got here and why you should always believe in yourselves. So let's get started. So, how many of you guys know about the Pascal's wager? Any philosophy students? Okay, if you don't know what it is, the Pascal's wager is a philosophical argument given by Blaise Pascal, where it's basically a chart that shows the pros and cons of believing in God. And it's basically an argument that talks about your best bet is to believe in God. And I don't personally agree with everything that argument shows, but I did take some inspiration on how that argument was formed, and I came up with my own chart, which helps my argument. So, my assumption here is that our thoughts create reality for us, right? So, I believe that the subconscious mind is creating our reality, which is why I think we should always be having positive, like, not always, don't get me wrong, they're like, we can always be having positive thoughts. That's just impossible, right? We're human. But what I'm saying is to believe and to really accept positive thoughts about ourselves. Like, we might have a gazillion ideas and passing thoughts in our head during the day, right? But there's only a few that we truly accept and believe in. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, you should only believe the good things, and the reason is here. Now, in this example, I'm going to show it to you guys that even if our thoughts don't create, and even if our subconscious mind is not creating the reality around us, we should still be believing in ourselves. Okay, so what am I saying here? I'm saying, let's say, there's two options that could happen, right? One, that our thoughts do create our reality. The subconscious mind is the creator. That's one possibility. And the second possibility is that our thoughts don't create. No matter what you think about yourself, it really doesn't matter, right? That's the second possibility. Now, if you believe in the good about yourself and our thoughts do create reality, then we're going to have a really happy life, because since we're thinking good about ourselves, since we're having positive thoughts, since we intend to have good things happen to us, our thoughts do create that reality for us. We do shift into that reality where what we think we get. So that equates into a happy life. Now, the second situation that could be is that our thoughts don't create our reality. In that situation, if we believe in good about ourselves, what's the worst that could happen? The worst, that is nothing. Nothing worse can happen if you just think good about yourself. You might be wrong. Your world might not look like that, but you would have a good mental health. You would have a great mental health for yourself because you think good things about yourself. You believe in yourself. You think that positive things will happen to you, so you don't overthink. You're not overtly anxious about things. So that's good. That equates good mental health, and I feel like good mental health is great for a good life. Right? So even if our thoughts are not creating, thinking in good things about yourself, thinking in the good ones, not berating yourself for all the bad things or qualities you have, right? Because accepting those qualities is like telling that, hey, I am that. But you're not that. You're not your bad thoughts. You're not your bad qualities. You are what you accept. Because what you accept, what you get from this reality, what you accept is where you be. The next situation that could happen is that our thoughts do create reality, but we don't believe in good about ourselves. We believe that, we're a failure and nothing good can happen and our life is a waste. Then our subconscious mind is gonna read those thoughts, it's gonna settle and give us more of that reality that we are already living in our heads. So it's going to give us more of that pain, more of the suffering that we already are going through if our thoughts do create, right? But if our thoughts don't create, not believing in good about ourselves is still not helping us. We're going to have a shitty mental health. We're always going to be thinking bad about ourselves. We're always going to be like, in any given situation, you're going to see it in the most negative way. You're not going to see it as if it's working out for you. And what's that going to lead to? That's going to lead to a bad mental health, right? What else can you do? If you just think that you're good for nothing and there's nothing you can do, what will happen? That's not gonna give you any good, is it? No, that's not gonna bring the right people into your life because misery loves company. When you think like that, you're only gonna attract more people who think like that, and you can be really in your misery together. But what I'm saying is that it's better to be happy together than be miserable together. So if you're thinking good things about yourselves, there is no side effects to that. There's nothing that can go wrong if you really just have positive thoughts and really do believe in yourself, that you're good enough, that you are capable of things. Have good positive thoughts before you start an assignment, before you have any good meeting. Believe and think that you're going to be doing good. Because why would you, as a person who thinks for themselves, think about the opposite of what you want? Think about the negative. That is just unbelievable. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. As I explained in the chart, it just is never gonna work out for us. It's never good to think the wrong thing. It's never good to just rot in this thinking that, oh, everything's gonna go wrong, because it doesn't benefit us in any way. And one more thing I do want to mention, that I don't see this as like we should never talk about our problems or anything, but I feel like a big aspect of, problem finding, or like what problem do we have, is that we forget that the goal is to not find the problem, the proper problem. The goal is to find a solution. You don't want to find people who share the same problem as you. You want to find a solution of this problem. You don't want to identify with this problem, right? If you, let's say, don't feel good about it yourself, if you feel not so pretty or not the best about yourself, thinking more or thinking things that will, fulfill that thought that already is in your subconscious mind is not going to help. Pinpointing what things you don't like about yourself, thinking about the things you don't like, that's not going to help. The point is not to figure out what the problem is. The point is to grow out of that problem and find a solution of how to accept yourself, how to believe in the good when there's so much of the opposite to believe in. Like, why would you choose that for yourself? What I'm saying, we have to choose the best for ourselves because we have that choice. If we do have that choice, why not make the best choice? Yeah, that's it for this video. It was just a short video of me explaining this. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.